It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time to meet Team 271. Tom Crawford, my longtime radio partner, Blue-Bellied Tom, co-host of The Drive with Jack and Tom, the Spotlight Radio Network, heard around the world at jackandtom.com. And Tom, I have a gift for you.
A gift?
Yes. I know that for those who have not been to Indianapolis for a Big Ten championship, Darian Harris, you've been there 4 times now. I've been 4, Rico's 3. So we have 11 trips. Decided that this will come in handy for you down the road. 2028.
How far down the road? 2028? That far down the road?
I just thought you want to have that. And that's an Ohio State helmet there for you, too.
You guys didn't go?
Another doorstop for me, along with the perfect time.
There you go. Want to bring in Rico Beard, a longtime Detroit radio and TV personality, Specs Howard broadcast instructor, recruiting insider, and most importantly, he is the host of the Spartan Beat weekdays on the Spotlight Radio Network. How are you, Rico?
I'm good, Jack. This week was a lot bearable because you guys didn't go to Indy again. It's like death and taxes. You'll never go.
I know.
You're part of the 7 teams that have never been there. How does that taste?
Don't answer that. It's good because we got a top 5 basketball team right now. Basketball is all that matters.
Basketball school. You're a basketball school.
I'll take it.
You're basketball school. So there you go.
I'm embracing hoops right now.
We're going to talk some basketball later, and Michigan's still undefeated. Want to welcome in Darian Harris, 5-year MSU linebacker, co-captain of the 2015 Big Ten champions, graduate student, aspiring broadcaster, his work on BTN there yesterday. Bring back a lot of memories for you?
Yeah, it did. Big Ten just does everything better. Now, I'm saying that having not been to another conference championship game, so I guess I should put that on a bucket list to see, how the SEC does and the Pac-12 does it. But, I mean, since they have gone to this championship game in Indianapolis, I mean, the way they do everything is great. And it was fun to be there, obviously, for Fan Fest. But then come Saturday, to put on neutral colors, just go and put on black and white, and just go as a fan, 8 rows up from Ohio State's bench. It was fun to just be there and just take it all in.
Just don't do the ACC. And then you don't have to worry about the rain.
Outdoors. Yeah, that was nasty in Charlotte.
Tears of nostalgia when the confetti came down on Ohio State? You know what that was like?
Yeah, of course I remember what it was like. But, for me, once the game was in hand, I kicked it out of there. Didn't want to get caught in a rush. But they were 7 points short of my prediction. I had them 52-24, so it was 45-24, pretty close. But hats off to Northwestern. They put up a great fight. It was close for a while.
It was. It really was. Got to a 3-point game, said, whoa, we'll be right back. We'll talk about that game at Lucas Oil Stadium and all of the other conference championship games and the college football playoff in our next segment, The Big Picture. We'll be right back here on Press Pass on Fox 47.
Whew, that was close.
Uh-oh. Better get Mako. With a nationwide warranty and expert technicians across the country, Mako's here to help. Mako, America's Body Shop.
When it comes to health insurance, what's your plan? Mine's Physicians Health Plan, and for good reason. PHP is right here in mid-Michigan. So if I'm looking for a new doctor or managing my meds, I like that I can just stop by their office if I have any questions. They're always there to help, and that's reassuring. So is the fact that they cover me across an entire network of providers. They've got me covered. Physicians Health Plan. Everything you want a health plan to be.
With a certificate from MSU Federal Credit Union, your financial goals will be within your reach. You can open your certificate with as little as $50. MSU Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Hi, I'm Realtor Brock Fletcher from the selling team with Keller Williams. Mid-Michigan homeowners who sell their homes with us get an average of 98% of their asking price and sell their home in an average of 28 days. Call us today at 517-853-6408.
When your car is a dent or scratch, that's pretty much all you see. Luckily at Mako, we have the skills to make that damage disappear. Plus, our services are guaranteed. Book an appointment at Mako.com.
I need an airway.
The Resident, all new, Mondays at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
Team spirit. Face paint.
more cowbell. Dean Trailway's motor coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football. It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Trailways. With trips for every season, Dean takes care of the details so you can enjoy the experience, including daily casino runs and great getaways to Northern Michigan and Chicago, where Doug Warren and I were in August for the NFL Legends Classic. That's Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Second down and 4th and 9. Haskins in trouble. Gets out of the pocket. Throws. Caught. First down to the 17. Haskins passing again. Touchdown, Dobbins.
Is it possible if you don't block that punt last week, you're not sitting here right now?
I have no idea. I give all respect and credit to the coaches for drawing up that play, and all my teammates for believing in me and letting me get that.
Make your case why Ohio State should be in the playoffs.
We beat a couple great teams, and we've been playing our best football. We beat the number 4 team in the nation last week, and we got the Big Ten championship. So.
And I got a Heisman vote. Should I vote for number 7?
Of course.
What's the best thing about Dwayne Haskins?
Everything. On and off the field, he's just great, and I can't even put it into words. He's probably one of the best players I played with all my life. So.
That is Ohio State wide receiver kick blocker Chris Olave, and there you see Ohio State script Ohio, and Tom, you get some idea of all the red in the stands. It was about 80-85%. There's Dwayne Haskins smiling in his post-game interview with Fox. Jim Delaney, and they don't boo Jim Delaney at Ohio State nearly as much as they do some other schools.
Archie Griffey standing behind him.
Yeah, exactly. There you see some of the celebration. Ohio State players very happy with Urban Meyer up on the winner's platform, and they do love their coach. Maybe nobody else does, but the Ohio State players do, and they're ready to run through a wall for him. There's Archie Griffin again celebrating the victory, and he got maybe the loudest ovation of the night if you're not named Haskins. You see Dwayne Haskins up on the stand, and there you see Carmen, Ohio, and a lot of love for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Paris Campbell celebrating in the locker room. They didn't have Rich Homie Quan there, and it wasn't dancing with everybody the way it was for Michigan State, but it's still nothing like a championship locker room. All right. Darian, being there in Lucas Oil Stadium, have you ever seen a better pure passer in the Big Ten than Dwayne Haskins?
I'm not sure I have since I've been a part of the Big Ten. And, it's interesting because, Don Brown called Clayton Thorson a top 25 passer in the history of the conference. So where does that put Dwayne Haskins then on this level? I mean, Clayton Thorson, I believe, will play on Sundays, but Dwayne Haskins is going to be a top 5 overall pick if he decides to come out this year, if he decides to come out next year. But what he's been able to do this year has been phenomenal. He's shattering Drew Brees' records, and if you are in the same sentence as Drew Brees, who's going to have all the NFL records by the time he's done, then that says something. But, throw for 500 yards, 5 touchdowns. I mean, he put on a show in Lucas Oil, and we expected that to happen, especially with how fast that turf is.
Right.
Ohio State's athletes just outweighed Northwestern at the end of the day.
How can Ohio State look so bad at Purdue, struggle at Michigan State, should have lost at Maryland, and then kick it into gear for these last 2 games?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Chris Olave, he put it into words, and the reason they're not in the playoffs is why he tried to get them in the playoffs. Yeah. Now they're playing their best football. Why weren't you doing that to start the season off? I think it just has to do with youth and experience on this team. This team is very young. you know, as Coach Tressel said, you know why these guys are 5-stars. You know why they're going to play on Sundays eventually. However, right now, you're getting led by freshmen. I mean, you know, Dwayne Haskins, he's a redshirt sophomore. Yeah. So you're getting led by freshmen and sophomores and juniors out there. It's going to take some time to marinate. But next year's Ohio State team, I mean, they might be playoff bound for sure.
Well, it'll see if Haskins is back.
If he stays, exactly.
Tom, what about the other conference championship games with Oklahoma and especially Alabama rallying to win?
Yeah, and I watched both parts of both games. Kyler Murray, though, is a really, really good quarterback. He broke all of Baker Mayfield's records. He had 500 yards. His feet are unbelievable, and his arm combined. You know, that was impressive. They beat Texas, a team they hadn't beaten. The only team that had beaten them, so they've erased that. And then Alabama and Jalen Hurts, to me and to a lot of people, represents everything great about college football, being a team guy and his attitude. And Nick Saban obviously got emotional because of that fact after the game.
Rico, the college football playoff is set, finally. Clemson and Notre Dame, and you've got Alabama, Oklahoma, no Georgia, no Ohio State. Did the committee get it right?
No, they didn't. The committee went safe. They put Oklahoma in. And at the beginning of the day, when Oklahoma defeated Texas, it looked like that was going to be the best pick. But then a funny thing happened. Georgia dominated Alabama. They lost the game. Yeah. But they dominated them. And anybody who watched, if your criteria is the 4 best teams, I don't care if Georgia has 2 losses. Right. They've done something that no one else can do. They've given Alabama fits. Nick Saban doesn't want to see Georgia again until next year. Right. So, no, to get it right, you put Georgia in. But they didn't.
Yeah, and I think even Kirk Herbstreit said the eye test is pretty clear what Georgia looks like. The only reason Oklahoma and Ohio State didn't have a second loss, they didn't have to play Alabama.
Well, they didn't get to play Alabama, too. They didn't have their opportunity.
Put Georgia in the Big Ten. Georgia's in.
It's so flawed. It's disgusting the way it's set up.
When they go to 6 or 8, then maybe we'll fix this thing. We'll be right back. Going Green segment up next, talking Michigan State football.
It's that time of year where we give thanks for all that we have. It's also the annual Thanksgiving sale at a Graf dealership near you. And here's what Hank's giving you right now.
Hank's giving us double the value of our trade.
Up to $5,000.
That's right, Hank's giving everyone double the value of their trade-in up to $5,000 and choose from these 5 vehicles that are $110 a month or less.
Hurry into the Thanksgiving sale at a Graf dealership near you. Hey, nice outfit. This whole thing?
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
The Knapp Center is a historical hub for future business growth in beautiful downtown Lansing.
The Ide Company did the best they could to preserve the integrity of the history of this building while incorporating a modern open workspace.
They have been prompt, they have been efficient, and they really are a friendly, great group of people that we don't have any concerns about calling them for any of our needs.
Opportunities for retail, office, restaurant, and residential. Build the future as a member of the Ide Company family.
Ride with Chicago PD, weekdays at noon on My 47.4.
Take a look around these streets. Do you really think we woke up one day and said, yeah, the world needs more pizza? Nah, just a better one. Better like the world's best pizza, Jets Detroit-style pizza. Hand-pressed and baked to the thickest, crispiest crunch. You're welcome. Now, enjoy our Deep Dish Duo, a delicious small one-topping Detroit-style pizza plus deep dish bread, just $11.99. Jets, better because it has to be.
Welcome to Russell and Schrader Insurance. Hastings Mutual is a trusted partner of ours. Call Joe Daly for a Hastings Mutual insurance quote. They are hard to beat. Call Steve Keisch today. From business to farms, Hastings Mutual will protect your best assets.
Catch the savings at Capital Honda. New 2018 Honda Accord LX, just $249 a month. Or new 2018 Honda Civic LX, only $169 a month. Just like your favorite team does it, we're going all out because you should be driving a Honda from Capital Honda.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Going Green segment. Brought to you by Graf Chevrolet, a trusted friend with 104 years in the automobile business. Stop and see Matt, Mark, and Greg on West Grand River in Okemos. They'll take great care of you as they have on all 6 of my leases and purchases. Go green, go grab. Now you see Kenny Willekes, 2018 Smith Brown Defensive Lineman of the Year. That Smith is Bubba Smith and Aaron Brown, or Penn State star. Amazing to think that Kenny Willekes could do what he has done. Rico Beard, it's been fun watching him develop from a walk-on to a guy who's just got a high motor. He's all over the place. What does that mean? What does that tell players about continuing to work? And do you feel at all sorry for this defense since the offense has scored a total of 4 touchdowns in 5 losses?
I'm surprised the defense hasn't kicked the offense out of the locker room, but I've had defensive players say, you guys don't do that, Darian. Marcus Ray said, no, you need the offense, but whatever. What does it mean for Michigan State? Well, it means this, that, it's one of those, it's the argument, do stars matter? And it really comes down to what you have in your heart. Because if you put the hard work in and do what the coaches say, and let them develop you, you end up with a Kenny Willekes, a guy who, I remember when I first heard about him, I'm like, who's Kenny Willekes? What? And then it's like, Kenny Willekes. And now we're sitting here wondering, is Kenny going to go pro? Because you got to see what his grades are going to be. But Jack, he has taken his game to the next level where, he dominated games. The Nebraska game, Michigan State loses, but he could have been Defensive Player of the Week that game.
Why is Kenny Willekes so special, Darian? You know him.
Yeah, I think it's his work ethic. He has the intangibles there, and I think Rico nailed it right on the head. If you come in with those intangibles and you allow your coaches to develop you and you listen, I think Coach Mark Snyder, when he was here and then they transitioned him from linebackers to defensive ends, that had a profound impact on Kenny's career. If you just listen to what the coaches say, but then you have to put the hard work behind it and continue to advance yourself, not get complacent, then you come out with a Kenny Willekes. I worked out with him in the offseason. I saw how he worked out with the team. I mean, he's in front of every drill. He's leading in the sprints. I mean, he refused to settle.
He's a chip on the shoulder type of player that Michigan State was. He wasn't the number 1 overall player. He was a guy that was forgotten about, that they said, we'll find a place for you.
You were 4-1 in bowl games. What does this opportunity against Oregon in Santa Clara, site of the national championship game 10 days later, what does this mean for Michigan State? How do you build on this?
I think that you look at it as the fact that you want to get a win going into the offseason. I think that's very important in terms of bowl season. And I think usually what we see in bowl games, there's always a rising star in the game that comes out of nowhere, usually. And there's always younger players that get an opportunity to play. If you remember the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl, which was coming during a season that was kind of like this one. Right. Johnny Adams gets hurt. Who comes in? Trey Waynes. The rest is history. Yeah. And there's a bunch of similar cases in other bowl games where players have had to, step in. And I think coaches want that because they know that the game, it matters, but it matters in a different way. It matters with allowing other players to get an opportunity to play, gain experience, and transition in the next year.
And that was a 6-6 Michigan State team. Had to beat Minnesota to get to 6-6 and then use that win over TCU as a springboard to 2013. Tom Crawford, with an offense that ranks near the bottom in any nation, how should we look at this injury-ravaged 2018 regular season?
Well, there's no getting around it. Michigan State's injury factor, and it was crazy. The numbers, they're falling like flies, was the biggest issue in this 2018 Spartan team. But when the Rutgers game is where I really struggle with it because I figure, okay, I'm watching this game, and Rutgers does not have as good a talent as Michigan State does, even with the injuries, and yet they were competing, they were hungrier, and Michigan State struggled to win that game, was fortunate to win that game. So that's one where the excuse of the injury goes out the window. So I think Michigan State's got to really look at themselves schematically, offensively, do some tweaks, much like the team down 63 miles on the road has to do as well, do some self-scouting. Find out what they can do better.
Thought it was 62 miles down the road.
Whatever.
I think it's 63, but we haven't measured it lately.
Thought it was 62.
So, Rico, how many Michigan State fans do you think will be heading to Santa Clara? Are you going to a bowl game?
Probably not. Probably like 10,000
come on.
or less.
Where's your loyalty?
I got loyalty. I can watch a bad offense at home from my couch.
There'll be a lot of fans out there, but there'll be more West Coast fans than you'd have if people could just make a quick trip to Florida down and back. We'll be right back. Out of the blue, up next, we're going to talk about Michigan football and where they stand heading into this Peach Bowl game against Florida.
Some say gyros aren't true sandwiches, but have they studied the nuances for decades? Because I have. When I see all those Mediterranean flavors hugged by that warm bread, I say what the Greeks would say. Aftoime on a sandwich.
Arby's, we have the meats.
For sandwiches.
With the David Chapman Agency, auto owners insurance policies come with something extra. Local agents who care about you. Our agents will help you find the right coverage at the best price. 3 generations serving you at the David Chapman Agency, your local auto owners insurance agents.
We're clearing out our warehouse. Everything must be sold before year-end inventory. Winter installation? No problem. American Metal Roofs year-end warehouse clearance. Call 844-METAL Roofs or visit AmericanMetalRoofs.com.
911, all new, Monday on Fox.
Hello, my name is Dr. John Braccio, psychologist. If you or your child have problems with focus, inattention, sitting still, memory, concentration, these are traits of ADHD. Visit us at drjohnb.com.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you are looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
Oh my goodness, we are so excited to be back for season 3.
New stuff is happening. It's just like new explosions. And these are new glasses for Scorsese.
We're bringing back the funny, the action, the heart of the show.
I take this partnership thing very seriously.
I'm so excited to be back amongst all of the amazing people that make me so excited to go to work every day.
Sean, we're excited for Sean.
Great, because I'm new in town. Can I hang?
I love the show.
Cole, you're on fire.
No, man, we both crushed it.
No, you are literally on fire. Your arm.
I'm on fire. Whoa.
I was on fire.
I knew I should have retired.
Whew.
Lethal Weapon, all new Tuesday on Fox.
Welcome back to Press Pass, our Out of the Blue segment. And you know how coaches get together after the games. This is something we actually ran last week, Tom, when you weren't here. But
Jim looks like he's enjoying it, actually.
Yeah, kind of a strange look on Jim Harbaugh's face. I don't know if he does this much, but
I think he asked Urban who's got it better than us.
Urban Meyer.
Another and another.
Actually, last night I was amazed to see Jim Harbaugh in Lucas Oil Stadium. I never thought I would see him there.
Are you
but
sure?
There was a lot of reaction. And we have a photo of Jim Harbaugh. There he is.
I thought he was recruited in Florida.
Jim Harbaugh is up on the wall, and they have all the great players in it, Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison, and they do love them some Jim Harbaugh in Indianapolis.
He's in their little Ring of Honor thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Just
Tom,
get a team there.
We did not have a chance to get your post-game reflections a week ago.
That was a good thing.
But how did those 3.5 hours change the perception on an otherwise outstanding season?
Go ahead, Todd. You got the whole segment.
To me, it's amazing how a great season can literally get blown up in the span of 3.5 to 4 hours. That's the fickle finger of football, folks. In college football, you're so vulnerable. And it's, once again, the old ultimate shallow crossers on that man defense. And all of a sudden, that happened. And all of a sudden, would you quit looking at me? I can't. I'm really feeling uncomfortable in this segment already. And the other thing is that Jim Harbaugh, in the big games, what works against average teams like, Wisconsin, Penn State, albeit Michigan State this year, does not work against Ohio State. You got to be more creative. So Jim Harbaugh, in my estimation, really has to do more self-scouting, just like he did after last year's postseason, and look at himself and how he's going to attack things schematically in big games against SEC caliber talent. Go ahead, Rico.
How does the #1 defense in the nation get 62 dropped on.
The point-a-minute defense. I know Building Yost had the point-a-minute offense.
You weren't listening.
I thought Don Brown was God. I thought Don Brown could just reach down in the heavens and just control lightning.
Well, to be honest with you, the offense let them down as much. The defense was on the field too much, although it didn't take
wide open
very
guys,
often.
They dropped 3 touchdowns early in the game.
Zach Gentry, I mean, you got to make plays. Yeah. I mean, and all of a sudden the game changed. The block punt, there was a special team element as well. So it wasn't totally on the defense, but I was really surprised. Just like I was in the 2006 game, that defense all of a sudden had 42 on it.
But you know what? It's okay because I realized that Chase and Gary were hurt, and they didn't play in that game, right?
They played in the game.
They played in the game!
Yeah. All right, now we have the Jim McElwain Bowl. And former Florida head coach, 1 year Michigan.
Now at CMU.
Assistant, just got the head coaching job at Central Michigan.
Great.
Congratulations
Florida.
on that, Jim. What does this game mean for Michigan, Rico? And can they use it as a springboard? Can they wipe away the stench of that afternoon in Columbus?
No, but I think they get a chance to finish off the season with a win. I mean, unfortunately for Michigan, they're playing Florida again. I mean, Florida might as well be your rival because you play them every year.
Hey, it's not my choice. You know, the committee.
I don't think that Florida's a good team. I think that Michigan should go out there. They can't get rid of that 62-point stench, but you get to finish the year. Rashawn Gary won't be playing in the game.
Right.
You probably will have a few other people who won't play, but they still have enough talent to go ahead. Well, remember, Jabril Peppers, quote-unquote, got injured right before the game.
11 wins, they'll finish in the top 6 in the country. Not a bad year.
There you go.
Very good year.
Yeah, that's a good year.
Darian, how should this Michigan team be remembered? Has a chance to finish 11-2, as Tom said, or could have yet another 3-loss season. Will you remember the 3-1 record on the revenge tour or a school record 14th straight year without a Big Ten title?
That's not how he phrases that.
It's going to be the 14th straight year without a Big Ten title because I'm thinking like a player. Now, I never really understand talking things up before the season if there's a possibility that you can't back it up. The revenge tour was all about that final game. It didn't really have anything to do with the other 3 games. It was about that last game against Ohio State. They knew what they were going up against. If you just stay low-key and then sneak up on teams, I think that's a better situation. But that's obviously not what happened. So you got to remember the fact that they didn't make it to Indy.
But you're not going to sneak up on Ohio State because all they care about is beating your ass.
Which is exactly how they're supposed to care about. And that's what Michigan State cares about with Michigan, and I think that that's kind of what changed the tide this year. Not necessarily changed the tide, but that's how Michigan was able to etch out that win. It's because they finally cared this year.
Yeah,
exactly. But then they go into the Ohio State game and just seemed unprepared.
You do realize that when you go to Ohio State in 2020, that none of those players on the team will have been born, except for, like, I guess.
Rico, you know the new Michigan recruiting pitch. Those who stay will be champions in 2028.
Right, there you go. So, yeah, just think about that, Tom.
Yeah, okay.
None of them on the team will have been born, except for maybe, I guess, your 50th seniors.
When we get back, we're going to talk about something Tom Crawford wants to talk about.
Basketball.
Michigan basketball.
There you go.
Unbelievable performance. And we'll talk Michigan State basketball as well, the Big Ten ACC Challenge. Spartans in action tomorrow night. Iowa coming to Breslin Center. That should be a terrific game. We'll talk Big Ten hoops coming up next here on Press Pass.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailway's motor coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
The student bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
Watch Live PD Police Patrol weeknights at 10 on My 47.4.
A magical holiday experience begins at the Town of Christmas in Jackson. Bring your family and capture unlimited photos as your family explores Santa's toy factory, sits in Santa's sleigh, and meets the big man himself. Visit thetownofchristmas.com for more information. Merry Christmas!
There's something out there for you and me, and the American road is calling, so what's it gonna be? Hey, it's an amazing day, traveling our own highway. No matter where it leads us, we can smile, 'cause it's meaning in the miles.
Marcus Mariota and the Titans.
Caught for the touchdown.
Clash with Leonard Fournette and the Jaguars.
Unbelievable.
Thursday Night Football on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for another Big Picture segment brought to you by Dean Trailways. With trips for every season, Dean takes care of the details so you can enjoy the experience, including daily casino runs and great getaways to Northern Michigan and Chicago. That's Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
You know, they got some good young kids, so the first thing, I'd like to give credit to them. The second thing, I do want to give credit to my team. I mean, we're on a 4 games in 8 days, traveling all over the world stretch without our key defensive player, Matt McQuaid, who plays 31 minutes a game. But I thought our guys competed tonight. I thought after, they blitzed us early a little bit, but I thought we shot pretty well. We went into the game, as anybody follows us, we averaged 100 turnovers a game in the last 4 games, and that was a key. We only had 2 at halftime and 7 for the game. That was one big goal.
Michigan State head basketball coach Tom Izzo. Rico, another slow start, but as Tom said there, they kept the turnovers under control. Cassius Winston, Nick Ward, big games. What is a road win? The first time Michigan State's ever played a conference game in November. What does that mean with an angry Iowa team coming into Breslin?
Well, I think it's going to be a little bit different. For Iowa, you got to hope that Matt McQuaid plays because he's the defensive stopper. Iowa likes to run up and down the court. Rutgers is like the Michigan State team back in the late 90s with Antonio Smith. Gritty, rebound, defense. I think the biggest thing that you could take away from this game, Jack, is a stat that kind of went into the background. Cassius Winston, 0 turnovers.
Yeah.
Rutgers applies pressure. They have length. The game was not easy, as you're seeing Cassius getting knocked down to the floor. But Cassius was able to control the game, 0 turnovers, didn't foul out. He was the guy, and he was that calming presence with this team that was missing against Louisville. So with Iowa coming in, it's Michigan State's first home game. They should win tomorrow night. They should.
You talk about Cassius, and it was his foul trouble and fouling out. There's time left in regulation, then the overtime. That's probably what got him beat against Louisville. Darian, you think about that game, and then the following night, Michigan handcuffs North Carolina in Chrysler Center. Big Ten 7-7 in the challenge. How much does that matter? What does it mean?
I mean, I just think those are 2 premier conferences in NCAA basketball thing in the country right now, and I think it's been like that, for the past few years from top to bottom. Big Ten right now is definitely the premier conference in terms of basketball right now in the country. I mean, I think, during that Louisville game, they might have put up a graphic of, Big Ten teams. It looked like nobody had lost a game. I mean, I know obviously Michigan State dropped the first one to Kansas, but I mean, every team in the Big Ten can compete. We saw that with Rutgers. I mean, Rutgers has always been kind of the quote-unquote baby Michigan State. They play every team hard. We know how Iowa plays. I mean, from top to bottom, honestly, in the Big Ten, it's going to be competitive. So I as always, appreciate how tough Coach Izzo, creates his schedule to start off the season. I think it's going to pay off good dividends later on. And we saw, Cassius Winston going out in that game it's not going to bode well for the Spartans. But I hope that leads Coach Izzo to understand that you got to find minutes for the backup point guard. So if that's Foster Lawyer, if that's Matt McQuaid when he comes back, if that's Joshua Langford, you got to know who that backup point guard is, and you got to get him in there early in the season.
Tom, you've been watching the Wolverines since the start of the Cassie Russell era. Do you remember watching them be better, more dominant this point of the season?
This early? No, I have to go back. Maybe the Gary Grant, Richard Ralford team of '86, or the '89 team had a great start as well, the national championship team. But no, this team, they wreck your world if you're playing them. I mean, Roy Williams said it was the worst loss in 31 years of coaching, and Matt Painter said yesterday, man, they contest every shot. Against Carolina, they contested 88 shots. That defense led by Xavier Simpson and Charles Matthews, they're winning on defense, and when their offense gets better, they'll be really, really good.
What was more impressive and maybe more important, the way that they stifled North Carolina or the conference win, the way they pounded Purdue?
Well, I think because that North Carolina win was just an electric crowd. I go back to Fab 5 days when they played Duke, the noisiest I've been in Chrysler, and I've been to a lot of games at Chrysler. But coming off that win and getting focused for Purdue, which is a more important game, relatively, it's obviously in the Big Ten. A good crowd. I mean, they brought it, and they went on a 5-minute drought. 5-minute point drought, no bucket for 7 minutes, and they still won by 19. So their offense can shut down, but their defense carries them, and that was a good win yesterday indeed for Michigan.
It's quite the winning streak when you think about Michigan last year, and only the loss in the national championship game. But other than that, the way they rolled through the conference tournament and the 5 wins in the NCAA tournament, they go into January without a loss?
Yeah. I don't think
I think so.
I don't think they lose until they get to Madison.
Well, they got Northwestern on Tuesday night, then they got South Carolina at home, and then Binghamton and Western Michigan. So it's going to take it to January.
Chocolate cupcakes.
Well, okay, come on, you're not going to be knocking Michigan's schedule.
No, I'm not. No. I'm saying in December, that's when you play the lesser team. I think when they go to Madison, that may be the first time they lose. They're on a roll.
So,
right
Tom, when you said Michigan would be 12-0, you were talking basketball, right?
That's right.
Sport. That's all.
Jack with the home run.
Thanks for clarifying that, Jack.
When we get back, Doug Warren will be here. We'll talk about the Detroit Lions. Our Law of the Jungle segment up next.
Lansing Brewing Company is the perfect place to meet family and friends over the holidays. We offer a full-service restaurant and a variety of locally made craft beer. Visit our retail store and purchase a big box filled with your favorite Lansing Brewing Company items. Beginning Black Friday, receive a $25 gift certificate when you purchase a $100 gift card.
You will not find a better selection of pre-owned vehicles anywhere.
Visit us today and see why Motor Cars is setting the standard for pre-owned dealerships across the nation. With over 17 years in the Lansing area, you'll find the best selection, any make, any model.
Premium maintenance facility, complimentary quick lube. We will optimize your buying experience at Motor Cars.
Easy credit approval, apply online, and remember, don't just buy a car, buy a motor car.
Hey, partner, looks like you got another ride to work.
Lethal Weapon, all new Tuesday on Fox.
It's that time of year where we give thanks for all that we have. It's also the annual Thanksgiving sale at a Graf dealership near you. And here's what Hank's giving you right now.
Hank's giving me double the value of my trade-in, up to $5,000.
That's right, Hank's giving everyone double the value of their trade-in, up to $5,000, and choose from these 5 vehicles that are $110 a month or less.
Hurry into the Thanksgiving sale at a Graf dealership near you. Hey, nice outfit. This whole thing?
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, we have a taste for adventure because the only way to know how good something can be is to go for it. Try our veggie smoothies, Island Green, made with spinach, kale, pineapple, banana, and mango. And Caribbean Sea Burst with carrots, mango, banana, orange, and goji. Adventure begins with never knowing until you try, but always expecting something great. Go for a veggie smoothie at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better, feel better.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. I'm talking about chicken shawarma with baked breast meat and hummus made fresh in a 3-day process. That's why I'm there every week. Here you see the Lions in action today against the Los Angeles Rams. Whoa! Where did Jim Bob Cooter get that one? Deep in the playbook. Taylor Decker, another touchdown for Ohio State.
Yeah. I knew you were going to say that.
Jack's on fire today.
Yes. He's a holy Buckeye.
But the Lions could not get it done. We want to welcome in Doug Warren. He is our Detroit Lions expert and insider. Doug, you were down there at Ford Field today. Lions were 10-point underdogs, and for a while it looked like they were going to cover, and then they got Todd Gurley down the stretch.
Yeah, you know, I'm not surprised by the outcome of the game. I had picked the score 42-12 in favor of the Rams, so I was a little off. But you know, I'm sitting there before the game starts, and I'm looking at the Lions roster, and honestly, before the game, I picked 15 guys on the Lions roster that I think are plus players, which is, you know, above average or elite.
Yeah.
And that leaves 38 guys that are average or below average, and when you look at it that way, I mean, it's not a surprise that the Lions are struggling right now and in Operation Tank mode, as I hope they lose the rest of their games.
Yeah. Do you have confidence in Bob Quinn and the scouting staff that if they get a top 3 pick, maybe even number 1 pick, they won't waste it?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've drafted better than their predecessors, Martin Mayhew and Matt Millen. I think his drafts haven't been that big of a problem, except for a couple of players, as we've talked about at length, Tease Tabor and Jared Davis. But I think overall, the personnel is getting better, but they've missed so many in the previous drafts that they've just hit in a big hole right now, and they got to dig out of it.
Eric Ebron, where are you?
Yeah.
When you look at this offense, how much do the Lions miss Kerryon Johnson? Is he going to come back, and what can they do in the meantime?
Well, in the meantime, it's just going to be LeGarrette Blount and company. I don't know that he's going to come back. Now, they said initially when he was injured, the Lions weren't eliminated from playoff contention. Then they said a couple of weeks. Well, it's been a couple of weeks, and now what we're hearing maybe is that he won't play the rest of the season because simply you don't want to risk him getting hurt, and you're planning already for next year, even though officially they're not going to want to admit that.
Gentlemen, they talk about teams learning how to win. The Lions have a lot of learning to do in that department. Is that something that is important to instill that attitude and culture, or do you just write the season off and move on to 2019?
Well, I think that you write the season off. But today, I mean, you have to give them credit. They competed, and they just didn't have enough guys to compete for 4 quarters against one of the best teams in football.
Tom Crawford, we saw Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, he got whacked today. Yeah.
Packers, very disappointing loss, and people thought that it might end for him at the end of the season. Didn't wait that long.
No, Packers are bad. But my biggest takeaway, Doug, I got to ask you, I'm watching the game on TV, and I'm seeing these fans going crazy when the Lions scored. And I'm thinking, where's that passion? 25 consecutive years now, Doug, they have not won a division title. That is a crazy, crazy metric.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, Lions fans are suckers. I mean, we talk about it all the time. They sell out the stadium, they pack the place, and they're perpetually disappointed. And I would never pay for a ticket to go to a game. The only reason I go to these games is because it's in this business and it's part of my job. I'd never pay to go to a game to see these bums.
A lot of people go because Rico Beard's twin sings Gridiron Heroes, but they don't score enough touchdowns that we get to see him very much, Rico.
Gridiron field goals?
No. That is not me. He is all true blue, Honolulu blue and silver. No, not me. That's a bad team. Doug, I'm with you. Didn't watch it. No. I was watching the movie. Lions, I mean, because they're not even smart enough to just lose. And go get a high draft pick. And if they get a high draft pick, they'll find a way to not
6 and 10.
You'll pass over Aaron Donald, you'll pass over Odell Beckham Jr., and you'll get Eric Ebron, and he won't fit your system, but he'll go
until
to
he
Indianapolis,
leaves, and then he's great.
And then he's a Pro Bowl player.
Well, there's a really good player, Darian, who isn't fitting any system for the time being. He's on the commissioner's exempt list. Has just been cut by the Kansas City Chiefs. And I thought you had a terrific tweet yesterday about Kareem Hunt. You want to relay that message?
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially, and not essentially, exactly what I said was, fellas, keep your hands to yourself. It's not that hard. I mean, that's just plain and simple what it comes down to. I mean, I saw the video. I've seen the story. I've seen what she did. I really don't care at the end of the day. None of it matters to me, and it shouldn't matter to the player. You should have better friends around you to get you out of the situation.
They tried.
And they did try. I sat there, they tried. And I understand that
I watched a man throw away his career.
You got an NFL running back, and it's going to be hard to have regular civilians hold it back. So I give them credit for trying. They did try. But just keep your hands to yourself. You just blew about $90 million right there.
Doug, we know that is great advice from Darian. He says, keep your hands to yourself. The problem is the Lions defense has been doing that and keeping its hands to itself whenever a top running back comes in. So, hey, they still got a couple of games they can win, right? Cardinals and the Bills?
Sure. Yeah, it's Operation Tank.
They can lose, too.
In full mode. They haven't won in Arizona since 1993. Let's hope that continues.
We'll be right back with our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank.
Look inside Santa's world at the Town of Christmas in Jackson. Bring your family and capture the joy of Christmas through the eyes of your children as they explore Santa's toy factory and meet the big man himself. Go to thetownofchristmas.com for more information. Merry Christmas!
It's the final day of the biggest Art Van Furniture Black Friday sale ever. Monday, save up to 75%. Black Friday discounts, extra 25% off all furniture, or no interest till 2023. Huge Black Friday discounts all day. Win a 2019 Chevy Traverse, a $5,000 home makeover, a trip to Disney World. The Art Van Furniture Black Friday sale. Final day, Monday till 9 p.m.
Carpet Studio Flooring America, your local Toys for Tots drop-off location.
I can't see it.
It doesn't take a genius to figure out Fox 47's weeknight lineup. It's laughs, local news, and more laughs.
You're going to mock me. At least get your facts straight.
I want to take back what's ours.
All new Empire, Wednesdays on Fox. Team Spirit. Face paint. More cowbell. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Working with the IDE company, 1, is very easy to do. 2, they're very responsive to our needs. And 3, as we've grown as a company, they've listened to those needs and they've helped us plan out our future in terms of growth that needs to be done at this location.
It's just comforting to know I'm working with the IDE company, knowing that they can accommodate our growth. In that way, they're an excellent partner.
Opportunities for retail, office, restaurant, and residential. Build the future as a member of the IDE company family.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years, with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holton South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank for what matters most. Here you see the Big Ten's bowl lineup, and 8 teams getting in. Minnesota, Georgia Tech, that's an interesting game. Miami, Wisconsin with a rematch. Just moved it to colder weather.
Exactly.
And, Pinstripe Bowl. Purdue, Auburn, that's an interesting game. We talked about Michigan and Michigan State and Ohio State. Northwestern and Utah, the conference championship game runners-up, and Iowa, Mississippi State in the Outback Bowl. All right, Team 271, what can we take to the bank about the 40 bowl games, and Utah State's playing in the first one of them on December 15th. Tom Crawford, let's start with the Big Ten.
Okay.
What's your guarantee about the Big Ten?
I'm going to guarantee 5 wins. Last year, 7 wins. This year, 5 wins for the Big Ten.
Who lost?
Unfortunately, your team lost. Michigan State loses.
No. Who lost last year?
This is this year.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
Okay. I think Michigan State's going to lose a close game to Oregon. I think Iowa is going to fall to Mississippi State. And I think Purdue is too much speed in dealing with Auburn. So there's your 3 losses. Everybody else wins. There's my ticket to the bank.
All right. Rico Beard, Michigan State and Oregon. And you have a lot of respect for Justin Herbert, Oregon quarterback. Keep coming back to that 7-6 season in 2012 and how that was a springboard to what happened the following 3 years. How will Mark D'Antonio approach this game against Oregon? All in for the win or trying to develop players for next year?
He'll probably try to do it for developing players. If it were me, I would go all in for the win because you need to leave your fan base with a good taste in their mouth because right now it's pretty bad. When you look at this Michigan State team, I can't see why people are going to want to renew their season tickets, where the excitement's going to come for the spring. I mean, when you got to beg people to come to the final game, you got to go out there, you got to win that game.
All games are
costs.
Important, very important.
So this game will be important.
You know Mark D'Antonio better than any of us. You think that all the focus is going to be on winning this game to get to 8?
Yeah, I think he goes for the win here. I think that he finds a way to develop players, but more importantly, go for the win. And you got bowl practice. That's when all the younger guys get to, they get about 25 days of, essentially days of practice in terms of that month leading up to it. All the older guys get to take a break. I enjoyed that when I was an older guy. You essentially don't practice for the first half of bowl practices. So I think you can do both at the same time, but I agree. You got to go for the win here. You got to go for the win, get to that 8th win, and prepare yourself for the 19th.
Josiah Scott play in this game, even though it means he wouldn't have the redshirt year.
I think he plays because I don't think he needs the redshirt year.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
agree.
He's not going to stay for 5 years.
As long as he stays healthy.
He stays healthy. He'll be on track to graduate in 4. I don't think he needs the 5th year.
Rico, what's your lock on the other games, especially the college football playoff games? When you look at Alabama, Oklahoma, Clemson, Notre Dame, what can you guarantee?
On the other playoff games, aside from the other games, no one's going to watch because unless you're a part of that fan base, because it's not games that are sexy. It's not games that you really want to see. Now, I'm going to be dialed in for Alabama, Oklahoma, but, Central Florida, LSU, don't care.
You're going to watch
Georgia,
the Peach Bowl,
Texas,
though. You're going to watch the Peach
Don't care. Michigan, Florida, again, don't care.
Doug Warren might watch all 40 of these games. He tried to do that last year. It's amazing how much bowl football he can watch. Games I even know they're on. He's already telling me about.
You will care because you want Florida to win. You want Michigan to lose, so you will watch.
I hope Michigan wins so that your fans will leave me alone. No.
When we get back, we're going to have our Cool and Smooth segment brought to you by Culver's. We'll talk about Play of the Week, Game of the Week, Team of the Week, Player of the Week, all that and more coming up next on Press Pass.
It's that time of year where we give thanks for all that we have. It's also the annual Thanksgiving sale at a craft dealership near you. And here's what Hank's giving you right now.
Hank's giving us double the value of our trade.
Up to $5,000.
That's right, Hank's giving everyone double the value of their trade-in up to $5,000 and choose from these 5 vehicles that are $110 a month or less.
Hurry into the Thanksgiving sale at a craft dealership near you. Hey, nice outfit. This whole thing?
Hello, my name is Dr. John Braccio, psychologist. If you or your child have problems with focus, inattention, sitting still, memory, concentration, these are traits of ADHD. Visit us at drjohnb.com.
The Student Bookstore is your green and white shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Gotham City was given over to criminals. It's not safe out there.
The world may seem dark, but there's hope.
Gotham premieres January 3rd on Fox. Get the lowdown from TMZ, weeknights at 7 on My 47.4.
You ready, Darius?
Let's do it. Anybody want an autograph?
Autograph? We're here for the stuffed crust pizza.
Stuffed crust pizza? Hey, who do you think you are? End of the line, pal.
Flavor fanatics love stuffing their faces with our stuffed flavored crust. Get one for only $2 more on any large original round pizza.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for a cool and smooth segment brought to you by the 5 Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butter burgers and premium frozen custard. That's Culver's. Welcome to delicious. Here you see Michigan State soccer in action Saturday against James Madison. And that's the tying goal from Ryan Sierakowski. Amazing finish for Michigan State, which was down most of this match, and a little celebration. Now moving on to the soccer semifinals. That's in Santa Barbara, California. Michigan State playing Akron. That is a soccer school, ladies and gentlemen. And in the second semifinal, how about an all Big Ten matchup? Maryland and Indiana, 3 Big Ten teams.
Indiana's always good in soccer.
They
typically.
are, absolutely. Yeah. All right, Team 271, who has been as cool and smooth as a Culver's mint explosion this week. Rico Beard, let's start with you in our Play of the Week.
Play of the week, lots of things went down. You could go basketball-wise. Tom, your Wolverines been dismantling people, but there was no play. So you could go a lot of different ways. You can go with soccer. You can go with hockey, with Michigan State defeating Michigan in hockey. But I'm going to go yesterday, college championship games in the conference. And I'm going to give it to this guy because he stuck with it.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts. Got benched.
The play of the game was?
Play of the game was Jalen. Yeah, it was him scoring that 15-yard run to win the game for Alabama. That play right there not only sealed Alabama's fate, kicked Georgia out, put Oklahoma in. That one play, he didn't quit, he didn't give up, he stuck with it, and he scored.
Darian, what about our game of the week?
Game of the week, sticking with the same game, essentially for all those same reasons. Alabama and what they do controls everything else in college football. So them winning that game, as you said, it takes Georgia out, it puts Oklahoma in. The way they won the game brought up question marks to whether Georgia should be in. You know, it keeps Ohio State out. I mean, the way that Alabama does things and the way that they are and the way this season goes, They control everything. They control everybody else's destiny.
Tom Crawford, what about our team of the week?
You know, team of the week, I'm tempted to go with the Detroit Pistons. They've won 5 straight games, and they beat the Golden State Warriors in a 13-7. Everything is grand. But, you know, this was the night that I was going to give the Michigan football team the team of the week when I saw I was on the schedule a month ago, and I can't do that. So I'm going to give the Michigan basketball team
you go.
the team of the week. They've beaten 3 teams that are ranked in the top 20 already, and they had 2 big wins over Carolina and Purdue. They're 8-0, and so they're my team of the week.
Well, I know why you gave Michigan basketball team of the week. 1, they deserve it, and 2, you can't give the Michigan hockey team the team of the week.
That's true.
Because
right.
Michigan State got 5 out of 6 points in that home-and-home set. 4-3 win.
Right.
In Munn. And,
in the shootout?
Absolutely packed. And then last night, it was actually a tie, 1-1, but then Michigan State winning in the shootout after the overtimes. So that really shows what Michigan State hockey is doing under Dan Cole, and I think they're on the right track. Player of the week, I was going to talk about Jalen Hurts, but I think you gentlemen have already done a great job of doing that. I do want to say, Tom, that Cody Crawford's tweet about Jalen Hurts yesterday was spectacular. If you haven't seen it, if you don't follow Coach Crawford, you should do that and tell you exactly what he means in terms of sticking with things, a little perseverance, not all bad. Player of the week, I'm going to turn to Dwayne Haskins. How about 5 touchdowns, 499 yards.
He's pretty good.
Broke just about every record imaginable, and couldn't lift Ohio State into the playoff, but did a lot of other things and probably got himself to New York certainly
You
for.
think so? He'll be
I
one
think
of
he'll
three?
probably
I was hoping
be
he
there.
threw one pass for one more yard.
One more
just to get
yard.
to 500.
Yeah.
Is that all he lacked? Wow.
Yeah,
he's good. He's
499,
He's
Tom.
really, really good.
499. One short of a 500.
Want to thank everyone here
Cry me a river.
on Team 271. Tom Crawford, Bluebelly Tom. You can hear him tomorrow, 3 to 6.
Yep.
Drive with Jack and Tom. You can hear Rico Beard, of course, with the Spartan Beat. Looking forward to that tomorrow. Darian Harris, did you win your matchup with Chuck Long?
I think I did because I had Dwayne Haskins.
Of course, he's a champion.
Came over.
Champion, especially in Indianapolis.
He picked Clayton Thorson first. Wasn't my fault.
Have a great week, everyone.